Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me. It's finally happening. I have technology, I think. Hopefully my internet is going to hold out. So good. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for joining me. I think we've got someone from San Francisco in the house. That's pretty awesome. So welcome. I think it was Vicky was your name. If you are new to my channel, make sure you type new in the comments because I do want to get to meet you. If you've got any questions, if you could type them in all capitals or with a Q in front, that'll just make it easier for me to find them as well. If you don't know who I am, my name is Paul from Scissors Paper Paul on Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube. Make sure you follow me on all of those socials because I do share different inspiration and tips and project links and things like that on all of those different platforms. Like today, the project link, if you want to make this or you want to modify it, I will be adding it to the pinned post for YouTube projects on my Facebook page. Again, all Scissors Paper Paul. As always, if you like this, give me a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you to everyone who's already subscribed. It's crazy. I'm over 3,500 now. It's small fry compared to some people we all know and love from overseas, but I'm just blown away. I mean, for me, that is massive. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, we're going to do an iron-on project. I have done some of the cutting just because it's going to be, a 3-process application, and we're going to do something a little bit different. Hopefully you like this. I'm trying to think of an iron-on project that was a little bit different. But we are going to use smart materials with my Cricut Maker 3. Of course, you can make this on any cutting machine, not just Cricut Maker 3, but I just thought I'd just show you how the smart materials actually work. And if you've got any questions about the new machines, about anything Cricut, I'm here to share my knowledge and expertise with you so that you can make beautiful things. All right, let's jump into the comments and see who's here. If I've missed anyone, I'll get started. Janine's in the house. Welcome. Sharon, good morning to you as well. Hey, Leilani from Canada. I knew it was Leilani. So good to have you here. I was going to say it the other week, but I was too scared. Joe's here for the first time. Oh, Melbourne, we're in lockdown. My heart goes out to everyone in Melbourne. And I also want to give a shout out to New South Wales, the state that never closes. Thank you, Gladys, I think it is, up there. You guys are amazing. But yeah, we're in lockdown again for another week. Let's hope it's only a week. I've got all my crafting supplies. I've got lots of crafting planned. Let me know what you guys are planned as well. Linda and Chrissy here. Yay. Good. Panda, my dog, he's on the mend. He's very cocky now. He thinks he's a lot better than he is. So we're trying to restrain him as much as we can so he's not jumping up and down and on furniture and things like that. But he's definitely on the mend. Welcome, Judy. Welcome, Nicole. Awesome. Everyone's here. Penny's here. Michelle's here. Excellent. I don't think there's any questions yet. Awesome. And it's Saturday evening there for Leilani. Lucky you. It's Sunday morning now for us. If you don't know already, I normally go live at this time every Sunday, our time in Australia, and just work on a different project. But it's live, so you can it's very interactive, so you can ask me lots of questions. This project was supposed to be for my Thursday night live for Cricut for Australians. So if you're not a member, links in the description below. But I had technology problems. Actually, no, Thursday was, I work in travel. So Melbourne went into lockdown, you can imagine, we got very busy. So I moved it till Friday and then my internet completely stuffed up. So I think they've been doing works in the area. So fingers crossed it holds out today. So this is my Thursday night live on a Sunday morning. So welcome to you. All right, let's jump into the overhead. First and foremost, I just wanted to show you my cute little stickers that I made. There is a link for these in the on my Facebook page as well if you want to make them. But I saw this new image. Smart Papers, yeah, sticker cardstock. So these are really lovely and thick. This is 220 GSM or very close to. So it's very similar to like AC cardstock. And I thought that would be cute. I actually put one on my sister's envelope for her birthday card. So that's winging its way to Brisbane, hopefully, as we speak. So I just sort of give those a bit of a shout out. Other things that we'll be using today, I'm going to be applying my project onto denim. Now, this is really thick denim. This I actually purchased to make a bag. So this is like, denim jacket, very thick material. So we're going to use denim for our application. And we're going to do it in an embroidery hoop. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about this because you'll notice my embroidery hoop is black. What? How did he do that? Well, I'm going to show you exactly how I did that as well. But I just thought this would be really cool. Think of all the different colors you could make depending on who it's for. Guys, I think I I think my internet is starting to act up a little bit. Just froze a little bit then, but we'll keep going. And of course, we've got our smart materials. So I've got my smart white iron-on, which I've already cut. I've got my smart green iron-on, and I've also got yellow. So yellow is what we're going to cut today. And what we'll do is we'll open it up first, and then we'll jump into Design Space, and I'll show you how we cut without a mat. But the new packaging, so iron-on comes now in a paper, sort of a box with the colours on it. And the vinyl now comes in the clear plastic square sort of rectangular tubes as well. And I'm going to share some tips soon about how I'm storing my vinyl now that it comes in these really cool boxes. So keep your boxes, don't throw them out. Janine's saying I am freezing. Hopefully I'm back again. Yeah, I think I think they're doing maintenance with my internet. But here it is anyway. It's on the roll. They've also rolled it with the pretty side inward. And the reason being that that's just going to make it easier to go through the machine, of course, without a mat. So the smart materials, as you probably already know, you can cut without a mat. Now, the Maker, the Maker 3, the Explore 3, they can all cut still with the Maker over 300 different materials. Explore 3 over 100 different materials with a mat. It's just the smart materials that don't need a mat. All right, so all of the products that you know and love now, you can keep using. All right, let's jump into Design Space. Yes, I am teasing you with my Maker 3. Again, this can be done on any machine. I just thought I've got these out at the moment, so I'm just going to use them. Please don't think it's a hardcore plug. I'm not trying to do that at all. I'm just going to find my project. Here it is. And I'm going to click Customize because I just want to show you what I do with my iron-on project. So you'll notice that this is actually already mirrored. So normally when you design, I'm just going to go up to the top, flip horizontally. Normally when you design, this is what they look like. For me, because I always forget to mirror, if I'm designing purely for iron-on, I just flip it horizontally, and that's how I save my project, okay? So this is for my son. It's going to go on the door to his games room. And I'm going to click Make It, and I've got my machine selected here, my Cricut Maker 3. Make sure you've got the correct machine. I'm going to click Make It, and because I've selected one of the smart machines, it's going to say, do I want to cut without a mat, on a mat, or multiple ways? So without a mat, of course, the smart materials, which we're going to do today. On a mat, well, that's self-explanatory. You use the same Cricut mats that you do today. Multiple ways is if sometimes you've got some smart materials and some non-smart materials. So you can actually cut some on a mat and some without. So you don't have to sort of jump in and out or design specifically just for smart materials. You can make those combinations throughout the process. I'm going to choose without a mat, of course, and I'm going to click Done. Now, the cut that I'm going to cut now is the yellow portion. So I've just selected that, and then I'm going to click Continue. And of course, it's going to link to my machine, which is turned on, and then it's going to give me the option, because I've said that I wanted to cut without a mat, these are the only materials, or there are other materials, but it's only going to let me choose materials that are smart. Okay, so it's not going to let me choose something that isn't smart. It doesn't want me to make a mistake. And I'm going to choose Cricut Smart Iron-On, and then it tells me to basically load the machine. So we'll go to the overhead and we'll do that. Give me 1 second. Vicky's saying it's cold up in Queensland. Penny's saying it's all the people that are on the net because they've got nothing to do. True. So you can see my machine is flashing to load. You can see there are these 2 guides here for the mats. What we're going to do is we are literally going to take our material, again, pretty side down, just like you would now, shiny side down. And we're just going to feed it in like we would the mat, in between those guides, right up against the rollers. Just hold it there gently, and then I'm just going to press the flashing load button, and in it goes. So the first thing it's going to do is check that I've got enough material to complete the cut. So I'll let that happen. And did that load properly? Yes, it did. And then we're going to click Go. And we'll let that cut. So while that's cutting, so we'll just wait for it to go into the machine. Make sure it starts off, and then I'm going to show you what I did with my embroidery hoop. Okay, so that's away. All right, so give me a second. So here's a very short video. I went to Bunnings, I got Rust-Oleum, which I always thought was Rust-Oleum, so now I've learned something new. And the embroidery hoop, I think it cost me about $8 or $7. It's a big one, it's about 30 centimeters, so you can buy whichever one works for your project. And of course I took off the outer layer because the inner layer will be hidden by the fabric. My cut's already finished. And then I just spray painted it. So don't do what I did and spray paint it without gloves on. Obviously I got paint all over my hands, but I did, if you do that and you didn't know there's a little trick, I actually tried cleaning it off for ages and ages, and then I read that you could literally do, use virgin olive oil, and that just came straight off. And then I put gloves on and I did the second coat. So I just did 2 coats of a matte black, and that's how I got that effect. So I'm just going to eject my matte now. Out it comes. Just move my keyboard out the way. I'm going to get my trimmer. I'm just going to trim this down. So this is the larger trimmer, the new one that Cricut have brought out for the Smart Materials. So it's longer from here to here. Still has the extendable arm out to 16 inches or 41 centimeters, I think it is. And I'm just going to trim this down. I'm just going to make sure I can see my cut. It's hard to see in this light. And I'm going to slice it in the wrong spot. Alright, we'll do that. Move our Smart Materials out of the way. And then I'm going to trim this up again. Now, the great thing about your Smart Materials, of course, is that you can cut without a mat, but of course you're going to end up with some scraps. But don't stress, because you can cut your scraps on a mat. So that is totally fine. Don't get rid of your scraps. Keep those, and you can absolutely reuse them for another project. Okay, so let's weed this. So it's a split camera. So I'm just going to weed this out. This is pretty self-explanatory. If you are brand new to Cricut, this is effectively taking out all of the negative pieces, or sometimes you take the positive depending on what you're doing. But all the parts that we don't want, we're just going to remove those. And just making sure I'm not weeding the wrong parts. This is a 3-layer project. Okay. Are you crafting today? What are you up to? Let me know in the comments as well. And then I'm just going to move in. I'm going to turn off my makeup. Move that out of the way. So that we can bring in my Easy Press mat here and the other pieces of the design. Now, what I do so that I can line this up when I'm doing my application is I just puzzle piece my design together with each layer in the order that it's going to be applied. So this is going to be applied first. Okay, then this layer will go on second. So by puzzle piecing it together, I'm going to find out exactly the full dimensions of the project, and then this piece is going to go on top. Then I get the full gamut of exactly how much space it's going to take up, where it needs to be positioned on my blank. So you might be applying this on a t-shirt, whatever it's going on. There we go. So that's just pieced together, and then I can just make sure that it measures up all perfectly when we do our application. Vicky's putting names on water bottles, awesome. Joe's decluttering. I actually want to do some decluttering today as well. Leilani and her granddaughter are painting rocks for the garden. How sweet. I love that. That's so beautiful. Brenton, you're an amazing card maker, by the way. You're making more cards. There we go. With a glass of wine or two. Love it. Might have to join you for that one. All right, so let me get my fabric. And because this is going, obviously I cut a large piece that's bigger than my hoop, so I'll just show you the kind of dimensions there. So you can see there's plenty of room around the outside for me to be able to, fold it all in and finish it all off. So because of that, I don't have to be too bothered about the exact position. But of course, I want to make sure that it is kind of in the middle as much as possible, so that I don't sort of run out of any fabric. So I'm just going to preheat this for 5 seconds, and I've looked up on the heat guide online, and I know that it's 315 degrees for 30 seconds for the Smart Iron-On with 100% cotton. So that just removes any moisture, making sure that it's nice and warm and ready to be applied. And then we'll put our design on the middle, making sure it's as centered sort of as we can. Again, this is just as an idea. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to peel away the top 2 layers and just leave the yellow, because that is what's going on first. So I'm actually going to get some heat transfer tape. So if you don't know, heat transfer tape, you can get this at Spotlight. We use it a lot for infusible ink. You can use the Easy Press on top of it, and that's just going to hold my design a little bit down because it doesn't really want to stick on this occasion to my fabric. So there it is. I get my Easy Press, which is just turned off, and we hit go, and it's light pressure, and we'll just let it count down to 30 seconds. Now, if you're doing layered iron-on, you might want to just tack it down. So you might want to just do it for maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds, just to let it adhere so that you can layer up your vinyl. That's really useful as well if you have cuts that are kind of where you've actually cut out your transfer sheet, where it might imprint onto the layer that you've put down first. But I don't have that problem, so I'm going to do it is exactly as Cricut says you should do it. So we'll just let that cool. So he's saying, oops, I'm late. No worries, you can watch the replay as well. Janine's making names for someone to put on dog bowls. How cute. I'll just go to the split camera while I'm doing this. Vicky is working on disappearing footprints. Ooh, Marauder's Map Tumblr. Oh, I'd love to see that, Vicky. That sounds amazing. Noreen, your wedding crafting. You're getting married? When are you getting married? Hope it wasn't supposed to happen this weekend or anything like that. If it was, you left your crafting far too late. But let us know what you're going to make as well. Love it. Barbara's making onesies for a new granddaughter. Congratulations. Love that. Amy. Oh, just had knee surgery, so resting. Rest up. 100%. All right, so we're just letting that cool down. So while that's happening, again, so what we'll do is obviously when this cool down a little bit, we'll peel that off, and then we're going to put the green layer on top, and then we'll let that cool down, and then of course we'll put the white label, the white piece on top as well. Cherie's saying that she's loving the font. The main one, so this is an image from Design Space. Again, I'll share this project link so you can sort of manipulate it and make it yours. But it's part image from Design Space, and then I've just added on my son's name to it as well. Noreen, oh, not for you. You're not getting married, not this time. That's okay. All right, so that's kind of cool to touch. Let's just see if it's adhered, and it has. So I'm just going to slowly remove that first carrier sheet. Just go slow. If it does lift, you can easily just go over it again with your Easy Press. And now what we'll do is we'll position our green layer. So excuse my fat head if it's getting in the way, as it normally does. We'll get that green layer right in the middle of the yellow. Perfect. Okay, and then we'll peel back the white, because that's going to be our last layer. Okay, and again, I'm just going to pop in some tape just to hold it in place. So this tape again is heat resistant, so you can totally iron right on top of it. And let's do our next layer. Press the Cricut C. So any questions about the new machines? I posted on my Instagram today a really, really long cut that I did with my son, which was really cool. There's a typo in it. I was rushing, trying to get it all to fit, 3.6 meters, it's so big. And when I was redesigning it and chopping out words and anyway, it's a typo, but that's handmade, right? And it was just to show that you can actually do really long cuts. I'll also link to the playlist if you are looking at those machines as well on my YouTube channel. I've got a couple of projects where I have raced the Maker 3 with the original Maker doing a cut. I've also unboxed both the machines as well, and I've done a really, really long cut. So they're really short videos. If you're curious, just check them out as well. So is it saying my layering has shrank, I think you're starting to say, a lot? Any hints? Yes. So look, shrinkage definitely happens with you doing the long application. So to be honest, again, you could probably just do 10 seconds, 15 seconds, enough time for it to adhere to your project, then do the next layer, and then when you get to the final layer, do the whole 30 seconds or whatever the requirement is. And because yes, what will happen when you do the full application, it does tend to shrink. So that's why sometimes they just don't match up. So again, we'll just let this cool. I'm just doing the right thing today. Rather than teach you bad habits, I'm teaching you what Cricut recommend that you do. But yeah, definitely maybe try that as well. Vicky says, I'm loving the way you're peeling the layers off as you go. Great way to do it. Yeah, and especially if you've got like lots and lots of layers, it just helps you visualize, because with this design, for example, with the yellow wasn't right in the middle. If I was just to put that yellow on there, and again, if this was a t-shirt, I would really be trying to go, oh, I think that's about right or whatever. Whereas if you actually piece it all together like a puzzle, you can place it down, you can see exactly where it's ultimately going to be positioned. And yeah, it just makes it, you're gonna nail it every time. Leilani's saying she's excited to get the Maker 3. I've been planning to buy the Maker. Oh, perfect timing for you, Leilani. So we're lucky enough in Australia this time. It's being launched globally at the same time. So I think pre-orders on the 10th of June, and they're available in stores from the 27th. And yeah, so really, really exciting. I've only just got mine. So last weekend, I was literally scrambling to unbox them, use them, video them. So the videos that I've done are literally my first cuts. There's no fancy editing, no do-overs. I literally just went and did it all in one go. All right, so now we're going to take off this layer. Again, just go slow. And you should see the fabric through your iron-on, which I can see. And then we'll do our final layer, and then we'll put it in our embroidery hoop. Yeah, so I think if you are looking to get the Maker, it is absolutely perfect timing. If you've recently purchased a Maker, they are an incredible machine. I mean, that's what I used. Well, to be honest, the Joy, if I could use the Joy, because it's just so small and convenient, that was actually my go-to, the Joy. We'll just pop out our final layer. Okay. Again, I'm just going to pop on a couple of pieces of tape. Hold it in place, and I'm just going to go long ways this time because this is quite a long design. So I'm using my 12 by 12, my 10 by 12 Easy Press today. Again, light pressure, and because this is quite a big design. Again, if you make this, you can scale it down to whatever you're making. Of course, you can change out the name as well, unless your recipient is named Leighton as well. Karen is excited for the mug press. Are you in Australia, Karen? I can't wait to get the mug press. To say I'm obsessed with coasters is an understatement, and if you know me, you know I am obsessed. There are so many here. So I'm just going to lift that up, put it back on its cradle, and then again, I'm just going to do the right thing. I'm going to flip it over and do that final 15 seconds on the other side, and then we're done once it's cooled down. So for me, mug press, getting a mug with a matching coaster, that's what everyone's getting for Christmas. So if you're my family or friends and you're watching this, spoiler alert, that's what you're getting for Christmas. So if you want to give me some tips and or hints of what you might like on those, let me know. We don't have a firm date for when it's going to be available in Australia yet, but we know that it should be by the end of the year. So, I went way too long then. I was jibber-jabbering and not concentrating. Okay, so we'll let that one cool down. I'm just going to move my Easy Press mat because that retains heat as well. So that will just cool a little bit faster. Pop that down there. So mug press, yes, you're in Tassie, awesome. I will definitely let you know as soon as the mug press is coming. So Suzette, yeah, just mention that. I will definitely let you know. Awesome. Okay, well, let that cool down. I can turn my Easy Press off now, and I might move that out to the side as well. All right, so we'll let that cool. It's cooling down. Awesome. Everyone's excited for the mug press. I think Joe's saying, can you adopt me? That would be a great present. No worries, Joe. Join the family. Ivana's excited for the mug press. Yes, super, super cool. I haven't seen lots and lots of tutorials on them, but yeah, very much looking forward to that as well. So this is cooled down. You can see it's now peeling off. And we'll just take that off again, nice and slow. Okay, that's our last transfer sheet. You can keep those as well if you wanted to protect other designs that you're doing if you want to. I've realised here, oh no, there's a piece that I've forgotten to weed. Do you think I can get it off? No, I'm going to leave it there. So there you go. I've forgot to weed my little circle out of there, but that's okay. I'm not going to muck with it now because I'm sure I'm going to I'll make a disaster of it. So here it is. Here's our design. I don't know if you can see the fabric printed sort of through. Try and catch the light a bit. The fabric through there, which is great. We know we've got a good application, and now we're going to pop it into our embroidery hoop. So let me grab the embroidery hoop, which is behind me. Then I've spray painted the outside black. And again, I thought this would be cool because if you were doing something for a baby's room, you could, or even if you were doing embroidery, you know, maybe you could you could paint the outside of your embroidery hoop, depending on, you know, who it's for and what the embroidery design is as well. So now I'm just going to try and get a feels for what's in the center. That's pretty good. And I'm going to put the outside on. Now again, this is really, really thick fabric. I'm just going to get it kind of started, and then we can reposition it accordingly. This is really, really thick. I'll make that at the front. Okay, all right. Layers there. I'm just checking positioning. I think that looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit over here, a bit down. So this is the part that always takes the time, isn't it? Actually getting your design exactly how you want it. I'm just going to get this around. Okay. And I'm going to just put my little screw and try and get that started a little bit. Get it connected so that I can start working with my fabric. All right, so let's start out popping it off. I'm just going to start pulling it nice and taut, and particularly at the top here. So pulling it down, make sure it doesn't pop off. Does that look right? Yeah, I think it does, doesn't it? All right, so we'll just screw it in a little bit more. Okay. Again, just making sure it's nice and taut, not taunt, like I've said many times in the past on other projects. All right, I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to screw this all the way in. Now, the one thing that I'm not going to do is finish this completely off around the back today. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it, but I just thought that would just be a waste of time. There are plenty of videos like I watched on YouTube which talk about how you do it, but effectively what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off a lot of this excess fabric, and then you just take a needle and thread and you literally just sew in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, all the way around, and then you pull it taut, and that will pull the fabric together. You could try hot glue, anything else as well, but that's the method that I'm going to do this afternoon. But here it is. So this is going to go on the door of my son's gaming room. I think it looks really cute, and I just thought it was a really interesting way to use an embroidery hoop. And again, now it's got that black. It just, you know, it's cool, I reckon. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Will you make it? Will you make one with, design like this, hang it on the wall, maybe some inspirational sayings? Yeah, Janine, I thought it was a good idea as well. So there you go. Nice and simple. So once again, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comments and I will get back to you. I will be posting this project on my Facebook page, as I mentioned earlier, and I'll also be back next Sunday at this time as well. I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but I'm hoping that it'll be the Shrinky Dinks. I just need to check something so that I can, because I need to pre-record that, because I can't have you in my kitchen and here and all that sort of thing as well. But I think that'll be a really cool project. Next Thursday for Cricket for Australians Thursday Night Live in the Cricket for Australians Facebook group, Natalie will be live at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and she's going to be doing cake toppers. So she's done cake toppers before, a couple of different ways, but she'll be jumping in and she'll be going live and doing that. So there we go. Chris likes it. Joe likes it as well. Nice and quick project. Again, I hope you'll make it. Hey, Scott, welcome. It's good to see you on live. And I'm glad that I don't even know what made me think to paint it. I think it's because it was just, I knew I was going to use black denim and it was this gamer, moody kind of vibe I was going for. And I thought, paint, why not? And I've actually got a couple of other projects that I'm planning to use paint for as well. So it really worked well. Michelle's going to make one for her craft room. Thank you for the feedback. Awesome. Brilliant. All right, guys, you guys are awesome. Have a beautiful day. Be positive, everyone in Melbourne. Big hugs to you for all of us in lockdown. And I'm going to see you really soon. Take care. Bye.